Welcome to IO2 1946, and today I'm going to show off a little bit of work that I've done on the MiG-23 mod. We're flying over Crimea, intercepting a bunch of A6s that have violated airspace. So just a quick look at the map. We have taken off from an airfield just north of Sevastopol, and currently we're just north of Feodosia, and we're about to get in range of the EA6B. There's 3 of them, and they will be flying just south of the peninsula. So once we get them on our beam, we're going to turn on the IRST and intercept them via IRST. You can already see that actually it's an AVAX that's calling them out, because we don't have the actual ground intercept radars yet. It's me and a wingman in the back. The armament is 4 R13Ms and 800-liter drop tank, which is a standard early 1970s loadout. So let's hop into the cockpit, turn on the lights, and you will notice that the cockpit is actually from a MiG-21. That's not a coincidence, or that's basically I don't have a MiG-23 cockpit yet, so I'm using what I have, which is a MiG-21 cockpit, which came standard with the mod to begin with. And what I did is I gave it an actual HUD instead of the MiG-21 gun sight that was there before. And this is an actual replication of a MiG-23 HUD, at least as far as I could find. It's not completely accurate. There are liberties taken, and a lot of them is being copied from a MiG-29, which I actually have a manual for, and I have a little bit of info on the MiG-23 HUD and a bit of differences, but this is about the best I can do. If you want a better rendition, there is going to be one in DCS soon, trademarked. Rasbam is making a MiG-23ML, which is really similar to this M. It's just lighter, more thrust, systems are more accurate and have better range. Anyway, this is the navigation display. I currently have 3 basic modes modeled. The navigation mode, which is just this, and we will see on landing circles for intercepting the glide path. Using a radar mode switch. You can switch to radar, which scans in 4 bars. It's stabilized in pitch and roll. On the top left you can see 120, that's the maximum range. I can lower it to 60, 30 and 3 kilometers. 3 kilometers shouldn't be available for radar, at least in search mode. It should be only available in track mode. So I'll be fixing that. And on top you can see Cyrillic letters RL, which means that we are currently using radar. On the top right you can see 15. That means that the altitude scale, which is on the right side, is 0 to 15 kilometers, and it's using the left set of notches. If I was below 1.5 kilometers, it would be using the right set of notches and would be scaled to 1.5 kilometers. On the bottom, you can see, On the bottom, you can see weapon numbers, stations 1, 2, 3, and 4. These numbers are not dynamic yet; they are always lit up. But in the final thing, once your missile is depleted, the respective number will go off, and the notch next to the altitude scale is obviously the altitude mark. I can hit the radar switch one more. We're in IRST mode. On the top you can see the TP, which is the mark for Tipploppillingator, which means IRST. And this is the gate or bracket that I will use to look up a target. The IRST, for now at least, is not stabilized. I am not planning to stabilize it. I think this is a lot, well, it is easier for me to use this way anyway. And it's also easier to model because in the upper hemisphere the limit is 3 degrees. In the bottom hemisphere of the display it's minus 12 degrees. It's 30 degrees to each side roughly. Let's see where we are. We are somewhere over the sea. This should be, yeah, Taman Peninsula. The target is now behind us. So let's roll in and start the intercept. In tail aspect intercept, the TP will have roughly 30 kilometer range. In frontal hemisphere it's going to drop down to 7.5, at least as I have it modeled. I am not sure how much it should be dropping, but I thought that this was believable. I am also doing this at night so that the contrast of the HUD is a bit better and you can easier spot targets once they pop up. I will also turn on in the down left corner my flight parameters so that you can check what I'm doing a little bit better. I can't turn on like actual controls like you can in DCS, so that's sad, but well, this is what we got. Okay, I'm gonna engage afterburners. The target is directly in front of me, roughly 60 kilometers out, so I have some distance to cover. Since I already have the search mode for radar done, I can try and search for them, even though at this altitude, 20 kilometers, 2 kilometers, the range is going to be down to roughly 20 kilometers, 20 to 30. It goes up to 60 once I'm at 4 kilometers, but yeah. Target bearing 10 degrees, 58 kilometers. I'm gonna start banking right and gaining altitude, because as you can see I have dropped below 1.5 kilometers. The 1.5 kilometer mode is on. And I need to climb to roughly 2.5 kilometers to be level with the targets, or even a bit higher, because as I have said, the TP works a little bit better in a look down mode than in a look up mode because of the limits in pitch for the IRST head. I have reached my maximum speed though, so I'm gonna reduce the afterburner, because with the drop tanks on, it's pointless to try an afterburn to the target because the drop tank is producing too much drag. I'm at 2.5 kilometers. I'm literally just using my trim for pitch controls right now. It's a little bit more precise. So you can notice that, yeah, that's other set of interceptors that's on the map. The wing control in this mode is automated. It's not manual yet. I'm gonna be working on that as well. It's the flight model is there. It's just that I need to change the controls from automatic to manual for the pilot at least. The AI obviously has to be automated. On the right side you can see readouts from the previous implementation from the original mod of the radar, which is a text-based radar. I am just keeping it for now so that I can actually compare the readouts on the actual display with the distance to target and stuff. So we're going 970 kilometers and we're slowly closing in on the target. Once they get to like 30 kilometers, they should start popping up on the IRST as like short strokes, horizontal. Now again, I'm not sure if they should be horizontal or vertical. I'm going with horizontal because that's how they're represented on the MiG-29. I know that on stuff like the F8, the strokes should be vertical for IRST. So honestly, I just don't know. This is what seemed like most obvious to me, so I'm going with horizontal. It's not that hard to convert anyway, just changing a few coordinates, switching X and Y basically. Okay, let's bring it a little bit right, 29, and then at okay, I can see little blips. I'm gonna move the bracket over them. There you can see them. It will start growing as we get closer. I'm now going to use a key for toggle sight automation, which is normally used for stuff like bringing on a gyro sight, for example, in most mods. So you can see I have logged the target. On the top side, I have the letter A for Ataka, which means that I am in mode for tracking. Two circles appeared. One is a small dot, and one is a big circle. The dot or miotka is for the antenna azimuth, and the field of view is basically its gimbal limit. So if the miotka goes too much to the right, the tracking is gone. If it goes too much low, it's gone. I can actually show it like goes up and up and up, and if I went even higher, it would drop the lock. So that's 3 degrees up and 12 degrees down, 30 degrees sideways. I can now use the toggle radar mode once again, bring in the radar ranging. You can see RL blipping, and we can see that we're at roughly just below 15 kilometers. I can already see the dark dots of the planes. I will bring on the missile, take in the afterburner, tell my wingman to drop tanks, as well as myself. And we're gonna close in and launch the missiles on the target. The RL is blipping because it's in a support mode. I'm not sure how accurate that is, but that's the way I go with. So he's launching, I'm launching. Yeah, I launched again. I'm gonna launch on the one to the right. And 2 of them exploded. I'm happy with that result. And now it would be RTB. Oh, and now the last one exploded because the missile slowed down so much that we actually flew in front of it. Sweet. Anyway, coming off burners now. Turning off the missile. I got bad. Is there one more alive? Oh yeah, it's just a plane falling down from the sky. The pull-up mark is from the A6 mod. It's kinda buggy right now. And we're RTB. Charging from the terrain. We're at Yalta. It's here. So I can start preparing for a return. Go to navigation mode. Look up the landing beacons. I will be landing from the sea. And because of how the beacons work right now, I need to use the one on the opposite side for the glide slope. Because otherwise I would just crash into the mountain. Because the glide slope would be too low and I wouldn't have enough basically altitude to bring it to landing properly. So I'm gonna be using this one, which is AM and 30 degrees. So I'm gonna set my compass to 30 degrees. Retard the engine. AM. As you can see, there is a small circle indicating the glide slope and bigger circle showing me the azimuth to the beacon. As you can see, the small circle just moved, which means that I have successfully gone inside of the actual range of the beacon, and I can start descending towards the glide slope. I will go on ahead and tell my AI to navigation, return to base, and next waypoint. As you can see, the wings are automated in sort of an awkward way, so I'm going 700 kilometers and the wings are fully out. It shouldn't be the case, but whatever. Just using trim extremely lightly to just descend into the glide slope, which means that the small circle is going to be level with my crosshair. You can also hear the beeping, which is the audio information for the glide slope. Well, basically dashes are if I'm right with the glide slope. Short would be if I'm to the left. Now, as you can see, I'm in mode below 1.5 kilometers. And it's showing me my radio altitude. I'll now start turning around. I'm looking at the compass now, which is telling me where I'm actually in relation to the glide slope and stuff. Additional information on the HUD. There's K and G, which is telling me that I have a true glide slope and true course for landing. Now the small circle is going right. That means that I'm getting closer to the glide slope and I'm at it. Now I'm pointing my aircraft directly at the beacon and I'm directly at the glide slope, more or less. And if the recording isn't scuffed, you can actually see the runway in front of me. I will start slowing down. on some below 600 kilometers an hour. I'll deploy landing gear, flaps, and land, and that's going to be it. I'm actually going to bring myself more to the left. There we go. A solid tone means that I'm directly on the glide slope. There are the lights. Gear out. I'm holding myself slightly below the glide slope right now, which is probably wrong, but I need to bring myself to the runway anyway. Flaps out. I need to trim a bit nose heavy right now. Air brake.